Hey guys, welcome to Calm Belly TV. All right, today we are doing a frequently asked questions about the elimination phase. So we're going to focus in on that. I have some questions that have come up a lot, especially as I've done the workshops over the past week and a half or so, the portion control or perfect portion workshops that were really focused on the elimination phase. Some of the biggest kind of tips and questions that came up there, and then I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions I've gotten about Flat Belly Kitchen, and that is my group program that is closing tonight. So tonight is the last chance to sign up for that. It's a group coaching program that gets you done with the elimination phase in 6 weeks. So that is the first phase of the FODMAP diet, the hardest part, the elimination phase, and it's almost full and it's closing soon, so if you are interested, get over to the page. I'll put the link below this video. If you don't have it, I'm sending out reminder emails, so check it out because it is going away tonight. All right, so welcome. Thank you for joining me live. I just recapped. Jessica, thank you. Good to see you. Feel free to say hi. This is totally casual, and if you have a question that you want answered, absolutely put it into the to the comments and I will answer all your questions. But I have some that have been coming up a lot, so I am just going to dive into that and do frequently asked questions in the elimination phase. And because there are a lot of new people here, let me introduce myself real quick. I'm Julie O'Hara and I run this Facebook group. My website is calmbellykitchen.com. I am a health coach who specializes in helping women get through the FODMAP diet and manage IBS with food and not deprivation. All right, so that's the story. Let's get into it. Elimination phase, frequently asked questions. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate it, and you can always leave a comment and tag me and I'll come back and answer your question too. Okay, so let's see. My first one that I have is, I get this question all the time and it's very understandable. So, can I eat a green light serving of a specific food once a day or multiple times a day? That's the question. All right, so I'm looking down here at my computer if you're curious. So with the green light foods, you can eat those multiple times a day. And if you click onto all those foods, especially all the fruits and veggies on the Monash app, it will say you're meant to have multiple servings of green light foods on the FODMAP diet. You know, try to get 5 to 8 servings of fresh produce. So yes, you absolutely can. So let's just say that zucchini is your favorite food in all of life. You could technically, theoretically, eat it on the FODMAP diet in the elimination phase for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So having those multiple servings is fine. You really just want to spread them out. My guideline is usually 3 to 5 hours. It totally depends on your body. Some of you might need to spread it out a little more if it's a food, you know, if you're very sensitive to fresh produce or even cooked produce. You know, if you have it 3 times a day because you love zucchini so much, and that doesn't quite work for you, you're noticing some symptoms, cut it back to twice a day, you know? But you should be able to have it multiple times as long as in one sitting you're sticking to that low FODMAP serving size. Okay, so Jessica, what is your question? Let me see. My eyes are bad, you guys. I'm always like, is there a way to get the Monash app free? I've heard it's the best to use. I do not know of a way to do that. It's about $9, I think, but it is so worth it. And if this helps, they give all the profits from the sale of that app back to research. So Monash University, they're not making any profit on it. They use the money to fund FODMAP testing. So the more you buy the app, the more foods they can test, which I think is pretty great. And it's so worth it. It is packed with information, and I mean, years later, I still use it regularly. So I think it's totally worth it. I don't think you'll be sorry. But yeah, that's a good question. It is the best too. They are the ones who created the diet. They're the most reliable source of information. Pretty much, if someone is telling you things and they're not following the Monash app, I would double check their source. So, because that is the ultimate source. Yeah, it's true, Jessica. But good question. Okay. So the next one I had, well, this kind of goes along with what we were talking about. So how many servings can you have? So one thing that a lot of people were really surprised and happy to learn when I was doing these portion size workshops is that a lot of red light fruits and vegetables can actually be eaten in the elimination phase, okay? So what I mean is, if you look on the app and you see that avocado is red light, don't just skip over it and think you have to give up avocado. Click on it and you'll see that 1/8 of an avocado is low FODMAP. You might think that sounds like nothing, but measure it out, and if you have a scale, weigh out the actual amount in grams, because that's really the most reliable way to get the exact, the correct serving size. But if you actually look at that amount, it's enough to put on a piece of toast or a sandwich. Like I kind of got through the elimination phase being able to eat that amount of avocado because I love avocado. And I would have that amount twice a day, no problem whatsoever. So other examples that are red light that you can still eat if you eat the appropriate serving size are sweet corn, green beans. Those are the two most common ones. But click on things. Always take an extra look, because you might see that you can eat a smaller serving and still enjoy that food. And by the same token, kind of on the opposite extreme, some green light foods become high FODMAP if you eat too much of them. So a great example is, oh gosh, I just got blank. Okay, this isn't the best example, but an example would be, oh, well, let's use eggplant, okay? So eggplant is green light, and if you read the fine print when you click on it in the app, it will say if you eat like 3 cups of eggplant, which is a ton, right? Then eggplant is high FODMAP. That amount in one sitting is high FODMAP. It would be a lot of FODMAPs for your body, okay? So it's really important to read that fine print. And let's see, so the reason I say it's not the best example is because most people wouldn't eat 3 cups of eggplant, but let's just say eggplant is your favorite food and you want to eat a whole plate of it. Well, that would not be low FODMAP, okay? So those were some big takeaways that I got as feedback from people who watched the workshop. All right, so I see some more people have joined me live. Feel free to say hi and feel free to ask questions. So I'm going over some questions that I've gotten frequently that come up a lot about the elimination phase. So let me see, what have we got? Oh, okay, a great one is, how long should you wait between meals? Some people are worried that they have to wait a certain amount of time, and you should, space out your food. It kind of gives your body time to digest. But you should also, another really good strategy is to eat smaller meals more frequently. So this is all about what works for your body, and you might have to do a little experimentation. So the main message here is don't stress it. Eat when you're hungry. If you're hungry, there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating. If you eat a huge meal, you're not going to be hungry for ages. But if you're hungry, you should eat. And the rule of thumb, again, is about 3 to 5 hours between meals. So that works if you're eating small meals, every 3 hours is probably pretty good. If you feel better when you're eating bigger meals, or if that's what your schedule allows, maybe every 5 hours or so. So there's no rule that you need to follow. Hi Marge, I see you there. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. Okay, Jessica, what about sweets? For instance, how many cookies if they're low FODMAP? It totally depends, Jessica. It depends on the cookie. So if they don't have any high FODMAP ingredients, then theoretically you could eat a good amount of them. High amounts of fat can slow down your digestive system, so that can be a little irritating. Some people are very sensitive to high amounts of sugar. Some people are very sensitive to high amounts of processed food. So it totally depends. And you can just kind of experiment, see what works for you. Okay, what else? What else have we got? So, okay, this is the golden nugget of this presentation. So I got a great question in one of the workshops, and it was, what's the easiest way to order at a restaurant when you don't want to have a long, drawn-out conversation with the waiter and talk to multiple people and kind of just spend a lot of time and kind of make, not make a scene, but if you just want to keep it simple, what's the best way to do that? And my best tip for keeping it super simple and getting what you want at restaurants most of the time, in most cases, is to say you are allergic to it, okay? So restaurant staff, they may have no clue about food intolerances and FODMAP and any of that. They may not have a clue and they may not care, but they've been trained, when someone says allergy, they have been trained to, their ears are gonna perk up and they're gonna, in most cases, they're gonna make sure you're okay, because otherwise they're gonna get fired. Restaurants don't wanna get sued if they give you something that sends you to the hospital. So say if you're trying to avoid whatever ingredient you're kind of worried about in that recipe or in that dish that you're going to order. If it's garlic, say, I am allergic to garlic. I need to know that there's no garlic in it. That's my best tip for getting what you want. I think that's most likely to work. Yeah, definitely the best tip. And it might be a little white lie, but it's like you're sort of allergic, and people are allergic, so so I think it's okay. Of course, your ethics on ordering at restaurants are up to you. All right, let's see, what else? So those were my frequently asked questions for the elimination phase. And if you guys have more, oh, I do have one more actually. How long should you do the elimination phase? So of course, this is a very frequently asked question, and the answer is, well, my answer is 4 to 12 weeks. I think that is it's a big range, but it's a range that works for almost everyone. 4 weeks would be fast. It would be very fast, and you would have to pretty much get in there right away doing everything right, and be someone whose symptoms really quickly resolve. Other people are going to take longer because maybe you spend a couple weeks really just figuring it out, and like the portion size stuff, and just learning all the, what you can eat, what you should eat, the other things that affect your body. So my program lasts for 6 weeks because I think that's a good amount of time, especially when you're in a program where you're getting a lot of help and support. But if you're doing it by yourself, I think capping it, shooting for 6 to 8 weeks. If you're going beyond 12 weeks, you need to assess what isn't working and maybe make some changes. All right, so like I said, guys, thanks for joining. I love it. Feel free to ask questions. Now I am going to go into some frequently asked questions about my program, Flat Belly Kitchen, because the doors close tonight at 10 p.m. So this program is only for the elimination phase. It does not cover reintroduction, and it's a good way for you to get a little taste of what it's like to do a group coaching program, because it's unlikely that you've ever done something like that before. It gives you a taste of working with me, so you can see how you do it. That's why I don't make you sign up for like the whole shebang right away. I want you to be able to know that you're going to get results working with me. So some questions I've gotten this week from people who have signed up or who are considering it are, how do the group coaching calls work? So they actually, this is perfect, they are exactly like this. They're on Facebook Live, but they're in our private Facebook group. So you'll be added to this group when you register, and it is only for Flat Belly Kitchen members. So that's it, just the members, and every week it'll be Tuesdays at 7:30 Central for 1 hour. I'm on video, and you are asking me your questions. You can ask me anything. You can be very specific. We can look at the foods you've been eating, if you're having problems with that, if you want to try to figure out what's causing issues, we can get really specific, and that's how it works. So it's pretty easy, and if you like this format, then that's perfect. Jessica, is there a way to speak to you if I need advice, as my nutritionist I see is not very familiar with the low FODMAP diet? You can join my Flat Belly Kitchen. That would be the best way. I do one-on-one coaching. I have on my website, there's a program that covers the whole FODMAP diet. It's a 5-month program, so that's the elimination phase, the reintroduction, and everything beyond it, like the real life phase. But if you don't need all of it, you can ask me if you just need the reintroduction, and I could give you a secret package for just that aspect of it. But I don't do one-time calls. I just do packages because I don't feel like I can help you enough in just one session. Okay, let's see. Next question. So how much time does it take if you're in Flat Belly Kitchen? Like, if you're really busy, like if you just have a busy life, which almost all of us do, right? Does it take up a lot of time? Well, the coaching sessions are once a week, and they are 1 hour. So if you can't make it to every single session, that's okay. You're always invited to submit a question beforehand, and I will, always answer your question on the coaching session. And the sessions are available to watch as a recording immediately after. So they're always they always live in our Facebook group, so you can watch them anytime afterwards. And otherwise, the time it takes is really the time it takes for you to, kind of eat low FODMAP, just kind of make food, whatever that looks like for you. I don't expect people in the program to all be like cooking every meal from scratch. Like, I give you a cookbook, my cookbook meal plan that you can kind of pick and choose from and use if it works for you. I kind of give it to you as inspiration, but there is no part of this program that says you have to eat what I tell you to eat, because I found that doesn't work. When I started coaching, I tried making meal plans for people and they would ignore them because people don't want to be told what to eat. So I tell you how to figure it out for yourself. So the time it takes, I give you a lot of great resources. You can spend as much time with them as you need to, but otherwise it's just the group coaching sessions and whatever time you need to put in to kind of get your food and keep your food journal. I do highly encourage that, so that's a little bit of time, but it can be a really easy process. So I think it's very manageable even if you are busy. All right. Let's see, I've gotten questions. Oh, I got a great question today. Do I cover the mental aspects of staying on the FODMAP diet? And my answer to that is absolutely. There isn't a specific module in the program that's just devoted to that, but that's because my approach to the FODMAP diet is totally holistic, because I know that changing everything about the way you eat is a big deal and it's a big change. And so we talk about, staying motivated and just being kind of strategies to stick to it throughout every part of the program. And just being in that group setting, I've seen it, in my past programs, is that might be the biggest motivating factor and the biggest thing that keeps your mindset really positive and keeps you in it and keeps you focused. So I don't discount mindset, and that really is a big part of it. All right, also, I've got a couple more frequently asked questions. If you have other food issues, can you still do the program? Absolutely. Of the clients I've worked with in programs and in one-on-one, almost everyone has another food issue. And there's a wide range, right? I've had a wide range, and you just work around it. It's because I'm not telling you the exact thing that you need to eat, every minute of every day. You can, if you can't eat eggs, don't eat eggs. I'm not saying you have to have an egg every day for breakfast at 8:30 or something like that. It's not like that. I help people get better at cooking flavorful food. That's one of the things I really emphasize. I give you tips. I give you a cheat sheet for all that. We talk about that. I help you with knowing what to order at restaurants. So it's all about giving you the tools to eat what you like and what you want to eat on the FODMAP diet, because I don't want you to feel deprived. I want you to enjoy your food, whatever that looks like for you. So let's see. I think I had one more on here. It's I've got, again, my bad eyes, I've got tiny print. Oh, okay, if you're traveling, I had this question a couple days ago. If you're gonna be traveling for a few days during the program, can you still do it? If you're on a work trip or even a vacation and you can't necessarily stick to the low FODMAP diet, yes, you absolutely can. I would say don't wait. There's never a perfect time to do the FODMAP diet, to do the elimination phase. So let's say you're going to be out of town for a week during this 6-week period that for the program. You just do the best you can. My advice to you would be try not to give yourself any major symptoms, because you just don't want that while you're traveling. It's really just for your benefit. But then when you come back, you just get right back on the wagon and it's fine. Because the goal of the elimination phase is to just prove that when you take away FODMAPs, you feel better. So it's not really a cumulative effect. What happens is, while you're learning that FODMAPs, that taking them away help you feel better, you also start to notice a million other things that affect your digestion. It's this really amazing learning process, actually. And you'll start to see how stress and sleep and hormones and those are my favorites, but there are so many things that affect your digestion, and they all start to come to light when you take away the FODMAPs and you notice everything else that's going on. So it's not that taking away FODMAPs creates, heals you necessarily, but it does get you used to feeling your body without those IBS symptoms. Some people talk about doing the FODMAP diet to heal, and a lot of that is when you have SIBO, and it really is something that you do for a limited amount of time to change the gut bacteria, but that's a different thing. With IBS, you do always have IBS, but you learn to control and minimize your symptoms a lot when you do the FODMAP diet. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Do you guys have any questions? For everyone who's still on with me live, thank you so much, and thanks for watching the replay as well. So just to recap, I did frequently asked questions about the elimination phase and about the Flat Belly Kitchen program, and that program closes tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are on my email list, which I hope you are, I'm sending one more reminder in an hour or so, but that's it. And then it's closed, and we start the program on Sunday. We start this Sunday, and it goes for 6 weeks. Oh, and then of course, I meant to say this before, then there's 2 extra weeks of support in the private Facebook group. So let's say you do have a vacation or something, and you kind of just need more time. You don't feel like you're ready to move on to the next phase because, you know, you had to kind of stop there in the middle or something. I'm gonna be there to support you and help you, you know, decide what to do and make sure you're still motivated and accountable for an extra couple of weeks, even after the 6 weeks. So there's room for flexibility because this is a group program, but it's still very customized. I get to know all of you in the program, and I can help you specifically. So that's how it works. So if this feels like the right thing for you, sign up. I don't know when I'm going to offer it again. The earliest possible time would be April, but I don't know for sure because I'm a one-woman business, and I can't always figure everything out. There's always a lot of factors. So I hope to see you in Flat Belly Kitchen, and I mean, good luck on your elimination phase journey. It's a big deal, and if you do it, if you focus, if you stick to it, you will learn so much, and it will be so worth it. All right? So since I don't see any more questions, I am gonna hop off, but leave questions below and tag me to make sure I see it if you're watching the replay. But thank you so much for joining, and I will talk to you soon.